everybody. So we're so excited. We are here to give you your preview of the summer movie season. It's very exciting. And David Healy is here with me.
Hey, thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love doing these. And we're just going to talk about May, because now summer starts in April, which is crazy. But we're going to talk about May, June, and July. And we're trying to cover pretty much everything in these and like blockbusters and everything. So you can make sure you have what is fun coming up on your list. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Are you as a whole excited about this upcoming summer season?
I am. There's quite a few that I'm looking forward to, and I think it's going to be a really big year for the box office with some of the movies coming out this summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm not that excited about a lot of these blockbusters personally, but there's not like I don't think there's really like a Transformers 5 that I'm like dreading. It looks awful. They
Yeah.
all just look kind of fine for me, and they'll be fine. But I don't know. There's nothing that I'm
Yeah.
like. Oh, I mean, I guess I'm pretty excited for Infinity War. We're not going to talk about that, but I don't know. Just none of the big blockbusters are like super. I'm super pumped for. Can't wait. But
That's fair.
yeah,
But I do think that I'm more excited about a lot of movies than you are based
yeah,
on some stuff I've heard you say about some movies I'm looking
yeah.
forward to.
Now we will have a fun time talking about
Oh yeah.
one in particular.
I'm sure.
Okay, so we're just going to dive in. So we're starting on the 4th of May. We're talking about Overboard. So this is a remake of the 1980-something classic rom-com with Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell. But this is gender swapped in the sense that in the original, Goldie Hawn is the rich, pampered person who gets amnesia and ends up getting tricked that she's the wife of the Kurt Russell character. And the original Overboard is so much fun. It kind of starts awkwardly, but once you kind of get going, it's really, really sweet and funny. So what do you think about this remake?
I actually haven't seen the original, so I can't say anything there. I did hear that it was a bit controversial. I mean, at least in today's culture, it's controversial. This guy kind of taking advantage of a woman who has amnesia. I think swapping the genders is probably a good idea
Mm-hmm.
because you don't feel as bad when it's a woman taking advantage of a guy and making her do her chores, right?
Right. That's why I said it kind of starts a little bit awkwardly because, but by the end, she kind of like falls in love with this family, and it becomes a kind of about family, and so I think it kind of wins you over in the end, the original, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they just have such great chemistry. It's really sweet, and so I recommend it. I think you'd like it. It's
Probably.
a fun movie, and yeah, and he kind of realizes that he was a jerk. Like he's not. I don't think that the film really celebrates what he does, or makes light of it really.
Okay.
So, and that's my opinion. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. That it's probably smart to gender swap it. But I'm just not excited about this movie. It looks pretty bad to me, and I just don't understand if you're going to make a remake of Overboard, why wouldn't you have Kate Hudson play her mom? Like that makes sense to me.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I love Anna Faris, so that's one reason I'm looking forward to this
Mm-hmm.
because ever since she was in Scary Movie, she just cracks me up. Subtle
Mm-hmm.
things she does.
Yeah.
She's just one of those celebrities I really like. So I'm looking forward to it, but I don't think it will be that good.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I know that I forgot to write down the male lead's name, but I know that he's been in a number of things. He was in How to Be a Latin Lover last year, which was actually did pretty well
Yeah,
for the budget. And I wasn't a huge fan. It wasn't quite funny enough for me, but it there's an audience for him for sure. So
true. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just not familiar with him. So
Yeah. And so it could be one of those things like I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Girls Trip, but just in the way that Girls Trip provided something for an audience that's underserved. It's possible the Latin American community could really embrace it. We don't know.
yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. So then on the 4th, we have Tully, and this is by Jason Reitman, and it looks, and it has Charlize Theron, and it looks very similar to Young Adult. which is another film that he did with Charlize Theron about this toxic adult, basically. And I'm intrigued. I don't know. The writing team that he always gets is so solid, and I'm sure it'll be a good performance. So, young adult for me, I didn't like it near as much as Juno, because Juno's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Right.
But young adult was a little too mean-spirited for my taste, and this could get in that realm. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Young Adult, first of all.
Oh,
My
okay.
roommate, it's one of his favorite movies, and I feel like we talked about this for our last preview, but I guess they must have pushed the date back,
Mm.
I'm guessing. But I'm thinking that it's going to be pretty good. I really needed that second trailer, which came out pretty recently, and it
Yeah.
actually shows more about what's going on. So I'm intrigued. It looks like a good reflection of what motherhood is like, the struggle that we don't necessarily see in movies a lot because
Yeah.
it's often glamorized, or just it's often just a parody of itself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it'll be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. And he's got such a great cast
Hmm.
that yeah, I think it'll be really good.
Now,
Um,
do you know the actress who plays Tully? It was one of my favorite movies from the first decade of the 2000s, so I'm hoping it's living up to that.
yeah. And I also love his Up in the Air. I think that movie's so good.
Right.
It looks like Mackenzie Davis is her name.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ron Livingston's always good. Mark Duplass is in it, so it has a great cast. It'll be good. Dabble Cody is the writer who wrote Juno. So let's hope it's good.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So this one wasn't on your list, but I just added it. On the 11th, there's a animated movie called Lou Over the Wall that's coming out. I actually didn't care for it. I saw it at Sundance, but if you like things that are a little more surrealist, I guess I might say, it might. If you like things that are sort of experimental and a little bit weird, then you might like it. It just wasn't for me. It was too spastic for my taste, but some people might like it. So there you go. Lou Over the Wall, an animated film coming out. And then on the 11th, also, we have a movie called Breaking In.
Okay.
And this is a thriller, I guess, with Gabrielle Union, who deserves so much better. She's such a good actress, and I don't know why she can't get like better parts, because I personally, I thought this looked really dumb. It didn't look good to me at all. And I know I'm not the biggest horror thriller guy, but I feel like I can usually tell, like, okay, this one's going to be good for those fans. This one's going to be bad. This looked really dumb to me.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I still think it looks like it could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll go check it out, mainly because I like Gabrielle Union. But
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of like these movies where kind of the person that's in distress becomes like the antagonizer for the antagonist, you know?
Mm.
And that's kind of the role she's taking in this movie. So I think it'd be fun to see her kick some butt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. It could be. But yeah, she's so great.
She is.
She deserves better
Hmm.
parts. Okay, so then on the 11th, we have Life of the Party. This is Melissa McCarthy vehicle. And I actually still pretty much like Melissa McCarthy. I did not like Tammy. That was a huge miss to me.
Hmm.
But I actually liked The Boss fine. Like, it's not like the best movie I've ever seen, but I thought it had some laughs. And most people hated it. But I don't know. I haven't turned against her the way many people seem to have turned against her. I actually think this trailer had a couple funny laughs. I think it could be funny. It's a
Yeah,
strange
well,
concept, but I don't know.
my coworkers definitely agree with you. They cracked up when they watched this trailer. Um, I was not sold based on the trailer, and
Uh,
my hope in her is kind of waning. Like,
yeah.
I still like Melissa McCarthy, but I'm not as confident in her just because she seems to play the same character a lot.
Yes, that is true for sure.
So I'm more looking forward to seeing what she does in her dramatic role coming up later in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think it'll be a great movie, but
Right.
I, enough there that I might go see it. Might have some laughs.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's about this like mom going back to college and and driving her daughter crazy and
Right.
all that fun stuff. So yeah, so then we have on the 18th, the big release is of May is Deadpool 2. I didn't see the original Deadpool. I've heard that this has had a lot of production problems, has different writers, different, it's just very different. And I know that that's given some people pause. They're concerned. I don't know. How do you feel?
I mean, I love Deadpool. You left out that there was a death on set,
Oh,
but
I didn't even know that.
oh yeah, stunt woman died.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Read that. Yeah.
yeah. I love Deadpool. I think the bar set so high. I can't imagine this can live up to it, but I really hope it does. The first one was so unique, so clever, so funny. It's very violent. Like I kind of want you to check it out, but I know it might be a bit much for you. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, despite the fact that I don't think it will be as strong as the first showing.
I mean, I wonder if this will have a similar situation that Kingsman had, where the first one was so loved, the second one was felt to be a disappointment by a
Right.
lot of people.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it going down that path. And even if it does, I'm okay with it to a degree because I still like the second Kingsman, not nearly as much as the first. So I'm sure I'll like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
just not setting my expectations too high.
Yeah. There you go. Well, speaking of not setting expectations high, we have Show Dogs also that day. And I think at this point, Will Arnett is just making he's like getting close to Nicolas Cage territory where he's just like making any movie that like gets sent his way. Like he just tells his agent, like, okay, whatever scripts. Like, what? What is he doing in this movie? Like, what? He's, I mean, there's talking dogs. I mean, last year we had the talking baby movie, and I don't know why that was a hit. And now we're getting the talking dog movie. And what? Oh my gosh, this looks so bad. I just want to die. Like, what?
Yeah. So you're speechless, so I'll talk a little bit. I am so looking forward to this movie. I think it looks so good. No, I'm kidding. It really does look beyond awful. I mean, there are Snapchat filters that look more realistic than these dogs with their mouths moving. I'm like, this is the production quality we would have gotten 20 years ago for this type of
Right.
thing.
It's so bad. I mean, like the dogs in Look Who's Talking, what's it, Look Who's Talking 3 or whatever?
Yeah.
They look better. And that was like 94. Like this is just, what?
Yeah. No, this is going to be terrible. And I wish I could have seen the conversation when this was brought up to executives.
Yes,
Said,
yes.
okay, hey, I'm pitching you this idea on this movie. It's going to be a bunch of talking show dogs.
Like,
And somebody had to have been like, wait, guys, this is not good at all. And then
like
somebody else,
what tax write-off are
right.
they trying to do with you this one?
Somebody else must have been like, just remember, kids are really stupid. Kids will watch anything. So,
Gosh. Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch it be the next Beverly Hills Chihuahua, which I've never seen. So maybe that's good. I don't know.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I kind of wonder if they thought, well, The Secret Life of Pets was a big hit, made more money than Batman. So we're going to make it in live.
You know, that could be it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad we're on the same page
yeah.
here. I would have been surprised if we were not.
Yeah. I mean, like, I got to hear the defense of show dogs.
So I know that at the end
gosh.
we might talk about the movies we're most looking forward to and the ones we're least looking forward to. I'm going to go ahead and make this clear. This is one I'm least looking forward to. It looks so awful.
Agreed. Yeah, it looks so bad. I just can't even.
Right.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So, all right. So then on the 18th, we have as your alternative programming to Deadpool 2, kind of, it looks pretty raunchy actually, is the movie Book Club, has an amazing cast of older actresses, Candice Bergen, Diane Keaton, Mary Steenburgen, all these great actors, and they
Jane
start
Fonda.
reading Shades of Grey in their book club. I'm a huge book clubber. I've been in a book club pretty much my whole adult life. I've been in book clubs. I've never read 50 Shades in those book clubs, but nevertheless, I actually think this looks kind of funny. I chuckled a number of times in the trailer. It obviously has a targeted demographic that they're appealing to, and you're seeing more and more of these movies targeted to senior citizens more and more. Like, I feel like we get 4 or 5 at least every year, some of them dramas, some of them comedies, because a lot of theaters offer senior citizen discounts, and you often see quite a few older people at the cinemas, and at least I do quite a bit. And so I think there's a market for this, and I think it looks okay.
Yeah, I actually agree. I remember having a conversation with my friend about it a couple weeks ago, and I was saying, "Oh, I think it looks kind of good, actually." And they thought it seems a little too late with the 50 Shades bandwagon. Like it would have been better a few years ago. It's kind of missing the mark coming out this late.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And also, Jane Fonda looks just like Sharon Osbourne in the trailers to me, with the burgundy hair or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I think they probably will get more credit than they'll try to get a lot of laughs on, like, look, old people saying raunchy things, how hilarious. That's not really that funny.
Right, true.
But hopefully they'll move beyond that. And because these are all ladies who can be very funny.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, I really like the cast.
Yeah. So, and it looked like, I think it looked more than the dating part of it. I thought more than the book club part of it, that I thought the dating part of it looked funny. Craig T. Nelson, Andy Garcia, Richard Dreyfuss is in it. And so it could be good. Let's hope it's good.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay, then on the 25th of May, we have Solo, a Star Wars story. And this has had all kinds of problems. But I'm actually really excited about the Ron Howard change, because in my opinion, Star Wars is best in the hands of old school directors. This is what I call them. I don't want Star Wars to be new and edgy. I want Star Wars to be classic storytelling, classic themes. That's more what I like. And I feel like Ron Howard's the man to do that. And and I thought the trailers have been fine. Like, none of them have super excited me, but I don't have this animosity to it that some people do. It'll be fine. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised to even hear that there has been animosity towards it. I haven't heard that personally.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I've watched all the movies, but I've been looking forward to this, and it might have largely to do with the casting. I really like the lead, Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I really like him a lot. So, I think it looks really good. I'm excited about it, and I think it will be a huge hit.
We know The Last Jedi was very divisive, and there are a lot of people who are really nervous about how they treat their Han Solo, because Han Solo is a beloved character, and so it is risky. I mean, we already saw them kind of turn Darth Vader into a whiny, wimpy. So I think there's reasons for concern as far as Star Wars translations of our beloved characters, and just with it being so messy with the and also you don't want it like the prequels kind of messed up with canon a little bit. There's things like that didn't make sense. Why did they do so? It's a little bit for a hardcore fan. There's things that are concerning, but I don't know. I'm just going into it with an open mind. I'm positive, trying to be positive about it, and I hope that it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it will be. I don't think Disney has gone wrong yet, personally, with any of the Star Wars films.
Uh-huh.
Even I wasn't looking forward to Rogue One at all, and it was better than I expected it to be. So
Yeah.
I would think personally that this would do about as well as Rogue One. I know a lot of people disagree with me,
Yeah.
but
Interesting.
um,
Okay.
at
If it
least
does
this
as
has
well
an
as
established character that we know.
if it
Rogue
does as
One
well
didn't,
as Rogue One, it could. I mean, Rogue One made 562
right?
million. So, like, if it does that well, then it would be like second in the box office probably. I can only picture one movie making more than $562 million, Infinity War, and so that would be interesting. We'll see. It depends on if it's good. If people like it, then I was not a big fan of Rogue One, but I went in with very high expectations, and as we
Okay.
know, the secret to happiness in life is low expectations. It's not
Very
terrible,
true.
but I was disappointed in it, and it's my least favorite of these rebooted films, personally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see how Solo does. We'll see. So then we have on the 1st of June, we have Upgrade. This is a Blumhouse film, a horror film. It's about a quadriplegic man who is given a chip, and the chip basically like makes him into this super soldier. And yeah, it looked like a horror version of Born Identity, kind of. I don't know. What do you think of this?
Well, I didn't think horror when I saw it.
Well, Blumhouse, they
Actually,
always do a horror, right?
well, I usually, but the trailer did not give me horror vibes. In fact, one of my friends was saying, "Do you think this is a comedy?" Which I don't think it's a comedy. I think it's kind of like an action movie. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think it looks interesting. I think the lead looks so much like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he really did. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
No.
But I think it has potential. It probably won't be great, but it might be entertaining enough, you know?
Mm-hmm. It does look like more of an action movie. It really
Yeah.
looks like a Born Identity kind of movie. So yeah, it's hard to tell so
Hmm.
much from the trailer, but it looked decent.
Yeah.
We also have on the 1st, we have Action Point, and this is just not my style of comedy. This is one of those like painful. We're gonna get hurt a lot from the. Looks like it's got what's his name?
Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville has the whole
Yes.
Jackass team,
Yep.
and there's this amusement park that's to just look like an excuse to cause people a lot of pain, and that's just not humor that I like. I don't really like ooh, ooh. And I know other people like that, but I don't.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I actually haven't watched any of the Jackass movies except for the Bad Grandpa, which I don't even really consider that in that family.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just watching the trailer, it's like, ouch, this
Yeah.
doesn't look
Ouch.
fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like slapstick that you would expect from like cartoons, like,
Yeah.
but
They're real people.
I might see it if my friends are, but I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the same page with that for
Yeah.
sure then. So also on the 1st, we have Adrift. And if you haven't watched the trailer for this, guys, don't watch it. This trailer shows everything. You get the entire movie in the whole trailer. And I think that this will completely depend on Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin's chemistry. If they're good, then it will be a good survival story. But if they don't, then it'll be boring.
Yeah. So this is a Hunger Games and Divergent crossover movie.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah, I mean it looks okay. I don't like Shailene Woodley as much as I used to, so I don't know if I'm gonna be excited about this. It kind of reminds me of that Robert Redford movie that came out a few years
Yeah.
ago. I forget what that was
All's
called.
Lost, I think.
All is Lost, yeah. Which I couldn't even get into that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go right to make this work for me because, I mean, Sam Claflin was in Me Before You, which I hated.
Oh, right.
Shailene Woodley has made stinkers, the Virgin movies, things like that.
So it's also the Me Without You, or Me Before You and Fault in Our Stars
Yeah,
crossover movie.
right. And Yeah, and like I hated the survival story with Chris Hemsworth. What was it called? That it was awful. I can't think of the name, but the one
Oh,
where the Moby Dick one that
yeah,
wasn't
I know. Yeah.
that. So survival stories can go either way for me.
Mhm.
So we will see. But I think if they have chemistry together, then that will save it. But
Yep. We've had some good ones though, like that. We've had Castaway, of course. That's been a
mhm.
while. And oh shoot, what is it with the tiger? Dang it.
Oh, Life of Pi.
Life of Pi. I love Life
Yeah,
of Pi.
yeah. Those are some good ones.
Mhm.
Okay, so on the 8th of June, we have Hotel Artemis. I did not understand this trailer. I thought this trailer was really weird. I don't really understand. Is this a comedy? Is this a thriller? I it's uh, it's got this great cast. You can't deny that. Jodie Foster, Charlie Day, Sterling, but it's kind of a weird cast. It's like a collection of there's some comedic actors, serious actors, Sterling K. Brown, Jeff Goldblum. So it's hard not to be excited about it because of the cast. But I don't know. I
Oh
just
yeah.
found the trailer really strange.
I actually found it really intriguing. I mean, the plot's pretty interesting.
What is that? I didn't really get
Okay,
what the plot is. What is it? Is
so
it a
Jodie,
hotel for, or I mean, a hospital for criminals?
yeah, so it's set in the future. Jodie Foster has this hotel, I guess you could call it, which she's turned into a hospital for criminals. So any criminals can come in there like without having to go to a regular hospital, kind of underground thing. But there's rules, and the rules are that they cannot fight, they can't kill each other, that sort of stuff. It's basically like sanctuary. So everybody in there, you have to just deal with each other, get over it until you get better. Then you all can leave and do your thing, but no fighting in here. So I think it's a really interesting concept because it's hard to keep the peace whenever there's like enemies living in the same space together and having to coexist. So I found it pretty intriguing, and the cast just really sold me.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to this. I hadn't seen the trailer until today, actually, but I think
Yeah,
it looks pretty good.
definitely. I mean, you can't deny that the cast is great. I just found the trailer kind of confusing. I'm like, is this
Yeah, that's true.
comedy or is this a thriller?
Yeah,
Or
I don't think it's a comedy. It might have some comedic moments in it, but most
okay,
movies do. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something different, at least thrown in
mhm,
there with all these sequels.
right.
So we have another original film, Hereditary. This A24 film. This was a big hit at Sundance, and this is Toni Collette, and it's basically like her mother dies, and but then like her, I think she comes back in like possesses her daughter, and it's one of those sort of demon child horror movies. It looked pretty scary. I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I think it looks really, really good, and it's by the same people that made The Witch, which I really liked.
Hmm.
So my friends, everybody I know, we're all really looking forward to this. This is definitely one of my most anticipated movies of the summer.
Yeah.
Um, and you all made top 10 predictions for the box office.
Hmm.
I could almost see this being a sleeper to sneak in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Conrado had it as one of his dark horses, and I had never really thought about it. But then once he mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, it could. It really could. Because there's
Yeah.
usually a horror that sneaks in there.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the trailer is just so like captivating
Yeah.
compared to most horror trailers, which look pretty generic these days. So I think people are definitely going to go check this out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not even a horror person. I might, I might go see it. We'll see. So on the 8th, we have Ocean's 8, which I'm really excited about. I think that the trailers have been stellar, very engaging. It looks just really tight and fun, and I love the cast. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I'm actually not a huge fan of the original Ocean's movies.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't even say the original Ocean's movies because that's a remake itself.
Right, right.
But
I like the
but
first one. The other two I'm not a fan of.
yeah, yeah. But I think this looks so much better than any of those personally, and it has to do largely with the cast. I mean, this is like the cream of the crop as far as female leads, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it looks great. The music really adds to the trailer. So That's one thing that I always mention is how like they construct these trailers that like really win you over, how they make everything match up to the music. And you know that's not going to happen in the movie, but still, I think it will be really good.
Yeah, that does help. Like Suicide Squad trailer.
Oh yeah.
Music was one of the best. Yeah, I agree. I've really been impressed, and like it makes sense if you're going to do a gender swap kind of thing where you have an all-female cast. In this sense, it makes sense because if you were just out of prison and you were calling up your friends, like most women have mostly women friends, and so like the people you'd call would probably be, or at least certainly it's plausible that you would call a bunch of women friends. So to me it makes sense.
Right. Yeah,
for other people, it's like, why are all the characters in Annihilation women? We don't know. And so yeah, it's just arbitrary, but this actually makes sense. So, all right, let's talk about Won't You Be My Neighbor? This is on the 8th, and this is also out of Sundance. It's a documentary about Fred Rogers, and it is amazing. It's so good. One of my favorites of the year so far. It's so sweet. He's like everything you want. It's like not one of those documentaries where you're like, oh, shoot, he wasn't as nice a guy as I thought. No, they're all like, we tried to find some. No, there's nothing on him. Like he's just seemed like the greatest guy. And like there's this amazing scene where he speaks before Congress, and like the Congress isn't going to give the PBS the funding, and he gives a speech about talking to children and how children need what children need in their life. And by the end of his speech, the congressman is like, "You just won your funding for the whole thing." It's really cool. Anyway, I really liked it. It's really good.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning this, and I've heard a little bit about it, and I was like, okay, Mr. Rogers documentary, like how good could that be? But then I saw the trailer at the theater a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this looks so good.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, oh yeah, the first time I saw the trailer, I cried.
Yeah.
So I think it looks like way better than I would have even imagined. Like I didn't realize how instrumental Mr. Rogers was, and like bringing these like groundbreaking subject matters to kids, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to, there was an Elmo documentary about the guy who played Elmo, and then there was one about the guy who plays Big Bird, and those were good, but this is even, I don't know, maybe I just needed it more too, because it's just like, if in the world of Me Too, where every celebrity seems like is like really awful, you know?
Right. Even the guy who plays Elmo, I think I don't remember.
Yeah, after.
So that documentary is kind of like unfortunate to think about now.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know, so it's just was refreshing to have someone like that and just to watch it. It was really good. So definitely check it out. It's documentary worth your time. Then next we have on the 15th, huge release, The Incredibles 2. We've been waiting 14 years for this sequel to the original. They're going to have the characters at the same spot that they were at the end. I have not been that thrilled with the trailers. I'm a little bit nervous about how they're using Elastigirl, because I feel like it's not really in keeping with her character in the original films, because she was so like protect the family, and for her to be like this hotshot super all of a sudden, I'm like, what? So I don't know. And like I have a couple other concerns, but I still think it's going to be really good, and I think it's going to be a huge hit. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. My most anticipated of the whole year. And Pixar, in fairness, tends to not have great trailers. So with those few concerns, I'm mostly very excited about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I actually really liked The Incredibles. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies, and I've wanted a sequel for so long, but now seeing these trailers, I'm like, really, this isn't even going to be that good. I hope it is.
No, the trailers have not been great. I'm glad that you agree with me.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it looks on par with like Monsters University, which I liked, but it's definitely not one of my all-time favorite Pixar movies. People are expecting like Finding Dory levels of success here. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think even close, really.
Really? Interesting. I think it actually could make more, just because the superhero climate, and I think people, I don't know, I get a feeling people have more affection for The Incredibles than for Finding Nemo even, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. But
I mean, yeah, maybe, but I mean, if you look at the originals, how they did at the box office, The Incredibles didn't do that well, really. I
mhm,
mean, it did pretty good, but like not
compared to
as
Finding
as well
Nemo.
as you would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't know if there's as much nostalgia for The Incredibles as there was for Finding Nemo,
There's also
personally.
nothing out for families during this time, which could help it.
I mean, Hereditary is a family movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just kidding. No, no, that's a good point, though.
Yeah.
I guess people might skip Show Dogs to watch this.
Oh, yeah. Please, it'll definitely should. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I always get a little bit nervous about these Pixar movies, and they usually end up winning me over in the
Mhm.
end. So
No, I hope that I'm wrong. And
yeah,
of course, I've got low expectations, which is probably a good thing. So,
yeah. So okay, so then we have Tag about these grown men who are still playing this game of tag that they played like their whole lives, and they like interrupt weddings and all kinds of stuff, and I don't know, this just doesn't look like my kind of comedy. I didn't really think it looked funny to me. It has a good
yeah,
cast, but I don't know, what did you think?
I like the concept. I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, the trailer, I didn't really laugh much, if at
Yeah.
all, during it. And I kind of just watching it, I'm like, okay, these guys have been doing these kind of comedies for a few years. Like, are we ready for some new faces? Like,
Yeah,
you all
that's
are
what I
kind
kind
of,
of felt. I'm like, okay, you can be the man child in your 30s even, but now you're like in your 40s. Like,
right.
uh, it's getting a little bit of a stretch even for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think I would like this more if it had a different cast.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over these actors.
Mhm. And on the 15th, we also have Gotti. This is a biopic of John Gotti. I feel like this could either, it stars John Travolta. I feel like this could either be a total train wreck, like it's going to be super over the top. He's going to like really be, kind of awful, or it could be like fun over the top and entertaining and really good. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. What did you think of the trailer?
I mean, the trailer looked fine. It doesn't look like my kind of movie, really. I
Mhm.
just think it's funny because I'm pretty sure we've been talking about this movie for like a year. It keeps getting delayed and
Oh, really?
pushed. Yeah, yeah. It was supposed to originally come out, I think, last August, and then
Ooh,
it got pushed back to December, and then the studio like collapsed or something that was gonna. I don't know.
yikes. Then it'll probably be on that train wreck thing, because I'm watching the
Yeah.
trailer and I'm like, ooh, this looks kind of bad. But it looks like it could be just so like over the top. Like I just don't see John Travolta like giving a unmemorable performance. Let's put it that way. I think it would be memorable, but it might not be for the right
For the
reason.
wrong reasons. You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like heavily involved with this movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, but I think that this is like his baby
Well,
pretty
remember,
much.
Battlefield Earth was also his baby.
Oh
So,
yes, which I will be watching that tomorrow for the first
oh,
time.
really?
Yes, I have bad movie night with my friends every month, and that's our
Nice.
movie for tomorrow. So
I've heard it's super boring, but that sounds fun. Okay, yeah. So here we go. This is the big one that you and I are going to fight so hard about.
oh, okay,
We
I'm
have on
ready.
the 22nd, we have Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. And this looks like a total abomination. All the characters look so stupid. The plot looks so dumb. I think that Jeff Goldblum is going to be in it for like 5 seconds in this courtroom scene. And I thought all the actors look bored. I don't think it looks scary at all. It all looks like a mishmash of like scenes from other movies, from other Jurassic World, from other Jurassic movies, and from Alien, and from a million other films. I just think it looks uninspired and lame. And there's just like so many interesting things that you could do with this concept. And just these Jurassic movies just are just so stupid that I just can't I can't deal with it. And I'm looking for something new, for some engaging characters, for some new looking images. Like they just look the same thing that we've gotten before. I'm looking for something to engage me, and I don't know, I just think this looks awful, and I'm not looking forward to it, and I probably get tons of hate for that because I got tons of hate for not liking the first Jurassic World. And there you go. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
Well, I heard your podcast about how a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon about hating Jurassic World. I'm still not on that bandwagon. I still like it. It still brings out the kid in me.
Yeah.
I actually think that this movie looks like it's taking a different direction from the other Jurassic movies we've seen, which I like that.
Yeah.
Like I never would have thought to have a volcano eruption. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks entertaining. There's dinosaurs in it, which I love. Like I can't not like a Jurassic movie. Like it's impossible.
You've liked all of them, all four.
I have, yeah. I mean, to varying degrees. The Jurassic Park 3 is definitely my least favorite. But yeah, I think it looks like it'll be fun. It hasn't shown much of the new cast in the trailer. Mm-hmm. All you see is like the young boy like screaming like a girl a couple of times. But I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Like they said that the second half of the movie, or the second third of the movie, or third of the movie is going to be like a horror movie kind of. So
yeah, well, I mean, Jay Baronet, the director, he has his histories with horror, and so I don't know, but these look like the most pansy dinosaurs I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they're like, all they do is like creep up on people and like not actually like kill anybody. I mean, it looks like
right. That's the one thing that like I'm watching the trailer and you see there's a new Indoraptor, and I guess he's in this little girl's bedroom and being so delicate, creeping up to her. Yeah. I'm like, no, he would rip her to shreds.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And you know she's going to survive. They don't kill kids in this movie.
Right.
I mean, if they kill this little girl, I will like stand up and applaud.
Yeah, mad respect if they do.
Because I'd be like, wow, this franchise has balls.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I'm just a Grinch, I guess, because I haven't liked any of the Jurassic sequels. I was so excited for The Lost World. It was because I love Jurassic Park. It was like a foundation movie for me. It was one of the most awe-inspiring movies I've ever seen in my life. And that movie has like gravitas, and it has like, it's really thoughtful and interesting and like asks interesting questions. And then it's like super scary because it has characters that you actually care about. It has characters that are actually fairly developed, even like the even just like minor more minor characters actually have a story arc, and you actually see and it gives you moments to breathe. It gives you and if it all feels like within the world of that story, it all feels like relatively believable that they could get this from this mosquito, and they could do like it's all, whereas like the other movies have just completely gone off the rails. And they actually end up being kind of boring to me. Like they're not interesting. They're not exciting. They're not fun for me. Like they're actually kind of dull. And just, I don't know. I've just been disappointed with all of them. We'll see how it is. And I think
second biggest of the year. It's going to be the second biggest.
I had it as third. Okay. But just because I think Incredibles is going to be, Incredibles 2 is going to, I think, could be huge. But we'll see. But yeah, it's definitely going to be in the top 5. There's no doubt in my mind. Right. But we should come back and you should do the review with me. I think that would be really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Let's do it. Okay. So and I do always go in with an open mind. I'm happy to be wrong. I liked The Nut Job too. So I'm the first person to be like, I liked a movie I didn't think I was going to like.
Right.
So there we go.
And I should correct myself. I said second biggest of the year. I don't think that's going to happen because I kind of don't think anything's going to dethrone Black Panther. So I think it will. Yeah, I think third of the year probably.
So you think this will beat Avengers: Infinity War?
No, that's why I was correcting myself. Is because I don't think it will. I think it will be third for the year, second for the summer.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, where are we at? Okay. 29th, we have Leave No Trace. This was a film I saw at Sundance. And I thought it was just so great. It's my second favorite movie I've seen this year. Favorite movie at Sundance, about a father and a daughter who are living off the grid. And the father is played by Ben Foster. And I really hated most of these living off the grid movies because they seem like they over idolize or make they make the usually the father character too heroic, of a character. But in this case, he's actually a super conflicted man. And he's this I veteran who has PTSD really bad, which has forced him into this lifestyle of living off the grid. And I just loved it. I thought the girl in it is just wonderful. It's by the same director who made Winter's Bone, which I also really like. And I just can't recommend it highly enough. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I tried looking up a trailer, and I don't think there's a trailer for this.
Oh, interesting. I hope they get one because it's worth. I hope people see it because I really liked it. Deborah Granick is the director's name. Anyway, so yeah, and then also on the 29th, we have Sicario, Day of the Soldado. And I have not seen the first Sicario, but this certainly looks like good acting. It looks intense. It's like a drug warlord kind of movie. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one either. I know that's another one of my roommate's favorite movies. So I'll probably watch the first and then go see this just because it's probably going to be pretty good, I guess. But I don't have much of an opinion right now.
Yeah, okay. Then also on the 29th, it's a big day. 29th, we have Uncle Drew. This is it's mostly African-American, looks like cast. It's about you have this kind of grandpa NBA star figure, whatever, that they kind of challenge with these younger guys to this basketball game. And it looks like it's probably going to be like on a Medea level kind of comedy to me, but it could be funny, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. I think it has its market, and that's not necessarily me because I'm not really into sports movies. But yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah. And then also, you put The Hustle. Did you mean the China Hustle?
I don't.
29th, a documentary.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Well, so there was that was the only one I could find. There's a movie called The China Hustle coming out. It's a documentary about the Chinese investment bubble and those fraudulent companies that were in. It actually looked kind of interesting. By the same people who did the Enron documentary and the one about the stock market here. So it looked actually pretty interesting. So okay. I couldn't find anything else that was The Hustle.
Yeah, I didn't even see that on my list when I was going through them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So then the July 4th, we have the first Purge. This is the fifth Purge movie? Fourth?
It's the fourth one.
Fourth.
But it's a prequel, yeah, obviously.
I haven't seen any of these movies. But the trailer, I didn't think it looked scary at all. And I feel like the trailers for the other ones have looked scary, like a scary movie. This looks like a thriller. But I don't know. There was no creepy masks or weird things.
Right.
And there was just nothing in it that looked scary to me.
And that kind of makes sense to me since it's the first one. It hasn't really been established. It hasn't become... And when I say the first one, I mean the first.
Right. Yeah. It's the first Purge.
The first Purge, yep. Okay. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I've watched all of them. I don't love the franchise, but it will be nice to have something kind of fresh, like a fresh take on it anyways. I think they're even going to make a TV show for it eventually.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. And then on the 6th, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I think I actually I feel like I like the first Ant-Man more than most. I really think it's charming. I like the way to use the pun, it's small. It's just about this one little heist in this one city. It's not so it's kind of a refreshing thing for Marvel. And I love Paul Rudd. He's so great. And I think this will be fun, sweet movie. My only concern is I do not like Evangeline Lilly. I don't think she's a very good
Oh
actress.
no.
No, I think she's flat. I think
Oh.
she's wooden. I don't think she emotes. I just don't think she's good. And so her being a co-lead in this is concerning for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love Evangeline. Did you watch Lost?
I watched the first season of Lost, and she's the best that she is in that. But I thought she was terrible in the Hobbit movies. I hate the Hobbit movies.
Okay.
But and then I didn't think she was very good in the first Ant-Man. She was the weakness of it to me. She was very flat. She was very wooden. She doesn't emote much. I don't know. I just don't think she's a very good actress. And yeah, sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm a big Lost fan, so
Okay.
I love Evangeline Lilly. And I'm really happy that she's like the first female to have her own like name in a Marvel movie, like in this MCU anyways. Yeah, I didn't love the first Ant-Man. I liked it at the time, but it just didn't leave an impression on me, like a lasting impression. So like I could hardly tell you anything about it. I need to rewatch it before this comes out. So yeah, I'm not super excited about this, but I'm sure it will be enjoyable enough, and I think it'll make a lot of money, well, a decent amount of money.
Right. Over that holiday weekend, I think it'll help it.
Mm-hmm.
So then we also have on the 6th we have Sorry to Bother You. This is a looks like a pretty cute little independent comedy about a man who's a telemarketer, and that's what he says in the telemarketer is sorry to bother you. At first I was like, ooh, like the very, very beginning of the trailer, I thought, oh, this looks kind of cringy. But then, like, I don't know, it kind of won me over. I thought it looked pretty funny.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks funny. It looks charming. It looks relevant. And this was a movie that kind of came out of nowhere for me. I went to 2 different theaters in our town are playing trailers for it, so it must be getting some sort of big release there. But yeah, I think it looks really good. I like the cast. I like the lead. He was in Get Out. He was in, I think, an episode of Black Mirror as well. So I think it'll be pretty good. No, he wasn't in Black Mirror. He was in that awful Death Note.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so then on the 13th we have 8th grade, and this was another gem out of Sundance. I did see this there, and I loved it. I thought it's a coming of age movie that's actually really funny, and it's just, I thought it was more gentle than a lot of these other coming of age movies, which can be a little harsh for my taste, a little caustic, and I just thought this had such a sweetness to it that I really liked it a lot. The little girl's great as the lead. She does a good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hadn't heard of this really, but then they played the trailer for it yesterday when I went to see a movie.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I thought it looked really intriguing. I mean, it's a Bo Burnham film, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's not what I would have expected him to make. And this girl, she just seems so real. It kind of gave me like Florida Project vibes, and how those kids seem so like real. And I get that same vibe from this movie, so I think it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the 13th we have Skyscraper. This is the big vehicle for The Rock. Yeah, it's just a disaster movie, and it looks stupid, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun.
Yeah, it might be fun. I this is what I like The Rock doing the best. This kind of movie. I don't like him as much in comedies. I think those tend to fail.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this could be okay. I think it will make a lot of money just because he has a big draw. Like, I mean, we saw Rampage surprisingly make it to #1. Jumanji was huge. So I think it'll be okay. I think it's funny because there's a poster for the movie that shows like the building and it's burning at the bottom, and he's jumping off of like something, trying to jump onto the building, and apparently people have done the math and they're like, oh yes, he would land right in the fire.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure. That's true. That's okay. I mean, there's in Lara Croft Tomb Raider, she makes like, she should go in the Olympics because of this jump.
Oh yeah.
That she made.
Every bone in her body would be broken.
Yeah. Find stuff like that.
Right.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, give me something new, something fresh. Like if it just feels like images and scenes that I've seen in a million other of these kind of movies, then I'm just kind
Hmm.
of bored. But if they find some way to kind of either with the writing or with the performance or with something like I don't know. Like I felt like at least the Jumanji movie like tried to give us something fresh. Like
True.
tried,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. And whereas like I wasn't a big fan of San Andreas because I just felt like that was just going through the motions. Like it didn't do anything I hadn't seen in a million other movies.
But your mom's a big fan.
Going all the way back to Independence Day. Like it was just like I felt like I'd seen a million scenes just like it, and maybe I've just seen too many movies. It's like find some way to kind of engage me, find some way to make it fun for me, and not just what I've seen before. So that's
Oh.
my
Well, if you want that, stay at home. Don't watch Skyscraper because you're not going to get that.
I know. It's asking so much. 13th, we have Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. This in 8th grade is what I'll probably be seeing that weekend. Yeah, so I was really surprised when they moved this movie off of their traditional September spot. It's been so good to that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the whole summer vacation plot, so I guess it makes sense. And this will be fine. I mean, these movies they're fine. They're perfectly watchable, but not like great.
Yeah. And I haven't seen any of the movies. I've seen all the trailers for them plenty of times.
Yeah.
This is probably the first trailer to actually like make me laugh, like watching it. And it's just one specific part where I guess like the Jello looking character or whatever like throws up and they make a baby by just throwing up. That made me laugh.
The second one I didn't like as much as the first one. And this looks like it's going to get back to sort of the more ensemble feel, which the second one kind of lost a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it should be better, but we'll see how it is. All right. So the 13th, we also get Don't Worry, He Won't Go Far on Foot. And it's interesting because it's about Joaquin Phoenix plays this a man quadriplegic in this wheelchair, and I feel like this movie could either be really good, and I'm sure Joaquin Phoenix will put his heart and soul into it. I kind of wish they had cast an actual quadriplegic person, like why not? I feel for that community because they always have to deal with people playing them who aren't actually that, aren't actually have a special needs. And it would have been cool if they had, but anyway, they didn't. And I feel like it could be really maudlin and really not great, but I'm hopeful it'll be really good because Joaquin Phoenix is a really good actor. But I don't know, the trailer, it just felt like, oh, is this going to be patronizing and not, or is it going to be good? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't get the vibe that it could be patronizing. I think it looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell, like, is this like, am I supposed to laugh at this movie? Is it just a drama? I think it's probably somewhere in between. But I think it looks well acted. I'll be surprised if it gets bad reviews. I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully. I do feel like also it's sort of weird release in the summer.
Yeah, that's my one concern.
It seems like it should be released in the fall.
Right.
I really loved it. So
good
we'll
point.
see. Okay, one I didn't have this on your list, but I just wanted to mention it. There's an anime film coming out on the 20th of July. It's called Macchia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. This is a fantasy anime about this girl who lives in this it's sort of like Rivendell in Lord of the Rings. They're immortal, and her tribe gets invaded, and she ends up like in this forest. She has to care for this baby. And it's kind of exciting because it's directed by this woman named Mirai Okada. And she is like, if you look at her like resume, it's like super long. She's been involved in like every anime, like, and so it's kind of cool to see. We saw it last year, Naoko Yamada with a silent voice, directed that to great acclaim. And now we're seeing this, so another female director in anime, which is kind of cool. So I'm hopeful that it will be good. That it sounds very creative, and so The World of Anime, put that on your calendar, 20th of July. It gets its US release. And then also on the 20th, we have the Equalizer 2. This is the sequel, obviously, to the original. And Denzel is back. I haven't seen the original, but this looked pretty entertaining. It looked kind of like a Liam Neeson kind of type movie.
No, yeah, I thought the same thing. It's kind of gives you like Taken vibes, or
Yeah.
like even there's what's a Death Proof, the Bruce Willis movie from this year.
Something like that.
Wait, that's not Death Proof.
No,
That's
Death Wish.
Death Wish, yes.
Yeah,
Death
Death
Proof
Wish.
is Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, I didn't see the Equalizer, but I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, I need to watch this movie. Never got around to it. I bought it, so I could easily watch it whenever I want. I don't think this looks as good as the first one did, but I will still probably try to catch up on the Equalizer and go check this one out. So hopefully it's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, so then the highlight of July comes out also on the 20th. We have Mamma Mia. Here we go again. This is the Mamma Mia 2 movie. And it's like a prequel. And you learn about, you have Lily James playing Meryl Streep, and you learn about the backstory. And so I think that the original cast is only going to be in it briefly. That it's, just the flashback structure. I don't think Meryl's going to be in it very much at all. And I think that Cher will probably actually not be in it very much either, because I just don't think that flashback structure will have very much of the, I think most of it will be in the flashback structure, not in the present day, whatever structure. And, but actually the first one is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I know it's not a great movie, but I can watch it and just enjoy it because I like the play. I think maybe that's part of it. I mean, the singing is atrocious, but I don't know. I like it. Sort of vacation porn, and just it's got a likable characters. And so if I just want a stupid movie, maybe I'll put on Mamma Mia and just enjoy it. But so I'm kind of hopeful this will be fun. But
yeah, so I saw Mamma Mia quite a while ago. So I don't remember much about it. I remember thinking it was pretty good, I guess. But I'm so sick of seeing trailers for this one.
Yeah.
Because they started showing trailers, I think, in December. And so I go to the movies every time, and I've seen this so much. Yeah. So it's gotten to the point where my friends and I, if we're at a movie and this trailer comes on, we all groan because we're sick of the trailer.
Yeah, that's true. That is valid. The trailer has been everywhere. So I agree with you there, even me. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it does. I could picture it being a big hit, or I could picture it being a total flop. Kind of like I mean, I guess My Big Fat Greek Wedding did okay, but it wasn't a hit any by any means. I could kind of picture it being similar to that. But who knows? We'll see. I hope they don't have Pierce Brosnan sing. That's my only.
Yeah, I really like Lily James, so like that's the main reason that I'm looking forward to this is just to see her. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be too excited about it.
I don't know how I've never heard her sing, so that'll be interesting.
Well, you've heard her in the trailer, and she sounds just fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right. So then we have Mission Impossible Fallout. This is the 6th Mission Impossible movie. And I've liked pretty much most of these movies. Certainly 3 up I've liked. But I didn't love 5 as much as most people. I liked it, but I thought that the hyperbole was a little strong on it. I think my favorite is Ghost Protocol. It's still my favorite. But this looks pretty fun to me.
Yeah, it does. I've only seen the first Mission Impossible movie, but I've seen all the trailers plenty of times. And starting with Ghost Protocol, I've thought the trailers look really good for the Mission Impossible movie. So it's not out of the question that I will catch up on them one of these days. This does kind of give me vibes of Tomb Raider, in that we have the lead like going through these things that would kill them.
Yeah, but he does do some crazy stunts all by himself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like in the 5th one, he's like hanging onto an airplane, and he's like really hanging onto that airplane. Like I've seen the behind the scenes, and And he's like really hanging off of this building in the fourth one, rappelling off of this building in Dubai. So like he does make it somewhat believable, and they try to like have sort of a story behind it. I mean, I still kind of regret the fact that, because the original show, Mission Impossible show, is so entertaining, very well done, and it's all about like the team that is assembled that all have kind of play their role. And you have like the femme fatale kind of character, and you have one who's like the sort of the brainiac guy, and it's a fun. You have one that's the muscle of the team, and Martin Lando's in it. He's really good. It's just a really good show, and I kind of wish that this series had done that more. You know, there was more of like a team kind of feel, as opposed to just
that makes sense.
Tom Cruise. But they're still entertaining blockbuster films. I mean, I feel like for me, because I was just said like the kind of blockbuster I don't like, which to me are boring. They're not giving me anything new, anything fun. But for me, like Fast and Furious 5, 6, and 7 were ones I really like, even though those movies are stupid. But they did have some new things. They were, I don't know, they just engaged me. And then I think that the Mission Impossible 3, 4, 5 were also ones I like. So so that's my jam, I guess, when it comes to blockbuster action entertainment kind of thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
There you go. So we'll see. And then we have also on the 27th, we have Teen Titans Go to the movies. And I don't understand who this movie is made for, because the people, at least in my little animation world, the people who love the show are not happy about this movie being made. The people that hate the show, which there are a lot of people who hate the show, aren't happy about this movie being made. And so I don't know like who it's being made for, who it's going to appeal to. I think they're trying to appeal to the same people that maybe Lego Batman did, but Lego Batman didn't really do that great when you really look at the actual like profits. It wasn't as successful as they thought it would be. And I know the trailer I thought was terrible, absolutely terrible. I have no dog in this race. I do not care about this. You know, it's not something I've watched the show or anything. So I have no investment in this. So, but I just, as far as the trailer, I thought it was really bad. And so I don't know. I don't know what to think about this movie.
Yeah. It didn't give me strong feelings either way. I did think it was funny, the like air coming out of the giant guy's butt.
You like that?
Yeah, I thought that was funny, but I mean, to me, it looks like an advertisement for something on the Cartoon Network and not a big budget film. So
it's a puzzler. We'll see how it does. I don't know how it'll do.
Yeah.
I don't know how it'll do. I could see it doing really well if it is actually funny. It could do well, but it could be a total bomb too. I don't know. But anyway, the last one we're going to talk about is a movie called Blind Spotting. And so this movie, at first I was like, oh, this looks really cringy. It doesn't look good. But then once like the actual crime happened, then I thought, oh, this looks interesting to me. I don't know. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty interesting. I hadn't seen the trailer until today. I like the lead guy. I forget his name. He was in Straight Outta Compton and Ingrid Goes West. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It looks like it could touch on some pretty controversial subjects. So I'll definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I think I would go see it too. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited for out of all these films?
Can you guess? I am most excited for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
There you go.
Because I am a Jurassic Park fan to my core. It's my favorite movie, and I like the entire franchise, and I think it will be fun, even if it's not critically like the best movie of the summer.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Okay, I am most excited for Incredibles 2, even though I have my reservations. I still I'm a huge Pixar fan. So kind of similar, actually. I feel like.
Right.
That's my most anticipated, but also Ocean's 8, and then the films I saw at Sundance that I already knew I love. I'm excited to see and see what other people thought. Because it's always kind of interesting because you have a certain response and then it comes out and sometimes people like it, because you do get sort of the Sundance bubble, and it's always interesting to see what the general populace thinks. But so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those, and
I'm looking forward to seeing both of those as well. But Hereditary is probably my second choice, just because I like horror franchises or horror movies that are good, and I think this will be one.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So and then Solo, I'm curious about. There's a lot of things to be curious about. So, and then the one I'm least looking forward to is definitely Show Dogs.
We're unanimous there.
It looks so terrible. Maybe we should review that as well.
Maybe. I mean,
that would be funny.
I guess we have to see it, but yeah.
If you see it, we should definitely review it.
Okay, I might do that.
All right, well, cool. Well, let us know if you guys are watching what you're most excited for. Maybe we mentioned something you hadn't heard of, you didn't know was coming, and you want to look up the trailers. Let us know. We'd love to know. And and we will be doing our March and April recap sometime coming up in the next, obviously once April's done, we'll doing that, and that will be fun. So look forward to that, and let us know what you're most excited for and what you think looks terrible. And if you're Team Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom or not, put in the comment section. That would be So, David, how can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the David Healy, or you could find both of us in a Facebook group that we run, Film Freaks. It's facebook.com/Film Freaks Group.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews here on YouTube and iTunes, and Smiling LDS Girl on social media. So check that out. And thanks so much, and we will talk again soon.
Bye.